Hi everyone, welcome to the 6th Chopal series of the Morning Standard. I am Ifra Mufti and I have with me Prabhat Shukla. So today we are at the University of Delhi and right behind me is St. Stephen's College. And you all must be wondering that why are we in the University of Delhi today? It's just like 2 days away the voting is and the election is getting closer and closer. So today we are here as amid the government announcing the freebies for the students, and we'll talk to them that what exactly do they really need from the government and what exactly are their demands from the governments. Since the Aam Aadmi Party has some other plans, BJP has some other plans, and Congress has announced several other things for the freebies, so specifically focusing on the students. So we're going to ask the students what they actually demand from the government. Are they really happy with the freebies, or are they going to get into this freebie culture and vote for them?
Hi, I'm Rishita. About the freebie thing, I think this very act of granting freebies is something which is very against the morality of politics.
Absolutely.
And about the freebie thing, whatever has been mentioned, it is something they go on harping about. But what I really want is that maybe a readdressal to the NEP system. Come on, we have like seven subjects to study. In terms, you have that practical thing, which is actually not at all. It's completely impractical. Apart from that, you're talking about the buses, you're talking about the amenities.
Yeah.
As I go down the streets, they're like cigarette smoke all over. There's
Yeah.
like pollutants in the air. I've got like an eye infection because of that.
Okay.
And apart from it, I feel like you need to address the real issue instead of giving some sort of freebies or some sort of false pretenses or false promises. Because I don't think, as student, as the very leaders of the coming future, we think that apart from freebies, let's get more into the practical thing.
Correct.
That counts.
Correct, absolutely. Shani, you want to say something?
Yeah, hi, I'm Shani. While I'm not completely against the idea of freebies, because we've seen like throughout the years, student organizations like SFI have forwarded this demand for, concessional metro passes, which means that a 50% off on, travel for students, because we know for a fact that, travel expenses are actually very high. We see that, okay, maybe a one-way metro ticket costs about 20 rupees.
Correct.
When you sort of aggregate that into a month, it comes to 2,000 and 3,000. Think about that over the sort of cost of living, the tuition, like those sort of freebies that have been structured by the students and demanded by the students. I do think that can be a good thing, that if the government decides to take that up, as maybe the AAP has in its manifesto. But however, again, the persisting issues in Delhi still remain things like, air pollution. We've seen it, getting worse over the years, and all that we've really received from the government is a sort of political blame game in terms of, who's responsible. The state's blaming the center's blaming the state, and then we come, they gave us these GRAP, 1 or 2. Again, these are very reactionary measures, right? We don't see any real systemic structural reforms in terms of long-term solutions to these problems, right? So we do think that as students, we're not immune to that. They think that, during election season, you sort of come here and announce these grand schemes. There's going to be some amount of like collective amnesia over things like pollution. But I think as students, we're even more aware of things that have transgressed. Like air pollution is definitely one of them. And again, things like safety persist as issues that still remain. Like as even if, the government wants to sort of gift wrap it and whatever they want. But again, freebie culture, I think I'm not against the idea of freebies, but the fact that freebie announcements come like months before the elections means that they're being used as a political tool, right? Not as real tools of empowerment or betterment of society.
Great. Yes, so you want to share
Hello,
something?
I'm Rehan. So again, the fact is that it's an undeniable aspect that freebies actually increase the disposable income of consumers from the lower strata of society. And the fact is that our prospective students, especially from St. Stephen's College or any other college in DU, it comes from a place of certain privilege. So again, we can argue that freebies are bad economics and that it leads to budgetary deficits and inflationary spending. But the fact is that freebies they play an extremely crucial role in actually increasing the immediate income for a consumer. And then, you can critique freebie culture as a political issue, a political tool of actually exploiting consumers and exploiting people from different strata of society. But the fact is that it is, again, if it's given a right direction, if the consumers are taught how to actually, in what direction to actually spend, use their extra spending, then freebies can be an important tool of economic emancipation at the end of the day. But the fact is that for students, our view is quite pigeonholed by the fact that we're studying economics as maybe an elective or whatever, and then we're told that freebies are, it's bad economics because it's a dole out essentially. But the fact is that in a larger context of India's socio-economic milieu, freebies play an undeniable role in actually emancipating the population. But look, again, if you look at AAP, BJP and Congress, they're all coming out with their, oh, we'll provide you more. So one government will come and say, we're giving you 2,000 rupees right now. BJP will come and say, that, oh, we'll give you 3,000 rupees if we come to power. So the fact is, again, it's a moot point here. So then freebies, what it essentially becomes is a tool of political, it becomes a political pawn in the game of chess here.
Absolutely.
So then there's no point in giving out freebies again. But people will be influenced by it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah.
So honestly, as a student, I don't have any expectations of any government coming to power because, again, look at the 50% the concession on the metros.
Right.
A lot of people will be affected positively by it.
Yeah.
But a lot of students. For example, if I were a student, I'm already paying like 30 rupees to come from Delhi Hut to maybe to St. Stephen's College.
Absolutely.
And that's still very cheap for me. So for me to have 50% concession again, it doesn't matter to me.
That's a solid point actually. Nobody
Yeah,
would have thought about. Yeah.
Again, it's important about whom are you actually affecting through your freebie measures, and
That's right.
it's important for the government to actually reflect upon who's your intended audience, audience, what part of the population do you actually intend to affect through your measures.
Right. Absolutely. You want to say something?
Hi, I'm Zoha.
Okay.
The thing is, the freebies again, whatever freebies that you talk about, whatever opportunities the government tries to give you, one example of the same is the free bus tickets for women here. It's a very good idea, and I feel like, but then again, one thing that we overlook is that giving of freebies, it's a very long drawn out process.
Yeah, right.
Just announcing a few freebies here and there, and again, as she said, gift wrapping them in that sense. Giving that out, that is the first part of the entire long drawn out process. At the end of the day, there's also a regulatory measure that's extremely important. So at the end of the day, after you are given these freebies, are they actually implemented? So even if I am given the opportunity of traveling in a bus for free because I'm a woman here, I would not choose it because again, I know that there will be other people who will cause the atmosphere to be unsafe for me. So at the end of the day, what are you doing about those freebies? Are you just giving them out, getting your votes and coming to power and sitting lavishing on your seats there? Or are you actually making use of it for the benefit of students? So what is your end goal at the end of the day? Even if these freebies are being given to us, are they being beneficiary? Are they beneficial to us at all? They will be beneficial if they are regulated properly, and that is the one thing that I would definitely expect the government to do. Even if you are giving out, if you're doling out all of this to us, do something about it after it as well. Ensure that it's implemented, ensure that it's implemented well.
That's you want to say something?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Anjali. In the previous years, this year also the government has introduced a lot of stuff in their manifesto.
Yeah.
And talking about freebies, like the same thing, that is it being regulated in a good manner?
Yeah.
Of course, I'll talk about the same thing, that women's safety, that they have included a lot of things in regards to the women's safety. For example, they have included CCTV cameras, they have installed CCTV cameras, and they have included free bus tickets to women, as we talk about freebie.
Yeah.
So is it being regulated? Because if I talk about the concession that has been given in the metro, the 50% concession, that is beneficial for me because I, being a day scholar, I come from Noida every day, so I have to travel and I have to, it will be beneficial to me to have concessions. But is it being regulated in a proper manner? Like recently AAP announced its manifesto about the Ambedkar scholarship scheme, that it will be given to Dalit students to provide free education or compel for their expenses and higher education. But we have to see this thing, that whether it will be regulated in a proper manner, whether they will be provided for all these things that they have been promised. So also AP had promised already that Yamuna river will be cleansed, but then it didn't happen. So we have to see whether the government sticks to its promises or they are just using it as political measures as stated by everyone, that we are just using it for the purpose of seeking votes and for the purpose of providing, just for the sake of providing.
Absolutely. So we have with us one of the especially disabled, I must say, that one of the students from law faculty. So you would say something on security and all the freebies in fact offered by the government.
Yeah, sure. So if we see the freebies, my interpretation and understanding says that the freebies needs to be there, and the reason behind it that the freebies are being given to you only on the budget which the government gets through tax.
Right.
And being a taxpayer, I can say that it's the right of the citizen of the state or the country to get those freebies there. And people might not disagree with me, but that's my understanding and interpretation So that's the one thing, and yeah.
That's all. Yeah. Yeah, Savi, you want to say something? Because since you have been the presidential candidate and the Delhi University knows you about, and you have been representing students and a lot of demands, in fact. So what do you have to say? Are you kind of contented with the freebies being offered by the several governments, and are you willingly to kind of get into this culture and vote for them, or any of them, in fact?
Yeah, so my name is Savi, and this time I was the presidential candidate from ISA. And I've been in Delhi University since 2018. And one thing that I would love to disagree with is the word freebie itself. I don't agree with the word freebie because as a citizen of India, as my parents are government workers, and you know, we pay tax every walking moment. We even on packaged drinking water, I'm paying tax. And there are different countries, you know, developed countries which provide free healthcare, free education, free travel. So why are we naming that free travel for citizens of India as freebies? It's our right. It's my right as a citizen of India. Coming to Delhi University, one of the major challenges for students have been travel and accommodation. I've talked to different students of Delhi University. I myself being a day scholar, traveling in metro has been a pain. And since years, since decades even, students have been demanding metro concessional passes. There was a movement led by ISA for the free AC bus passes, which students got. And after that, students have been, we got relief from that extra pressure. But metro travel is really expensive. There is no Rent Control Act. There's no Rent Control Act. Students are, living in Vijayanagar, Malkaganj, different areas, and they're paying extensive amount in rents. So this is one major issue which students are facing. So this is not freebie. This is what we rightfully deserve, because we can't maintain a space where only few privileged students who are coming from privileged background are coming. In Delhi University, there are vibrant people. There are people coming from Bihar, UP, and they are facing the brunt of these things. So these are not freebies, I would say.
Hi. So I want to ask you something about the security in Delhi University. Is this word or anywhere find its mention in the Delhi Manifesto anywhere, or you want that this thing should be kind of highlighted everywhere? Because security and safety is the major concern for the students.
So yeah, you talked about security in Delhi and in our campus as well, Delhi University. So I would like to say that after the 2012 Nirbhaya gang rape case, I found today itself in 2025 the Delhi has not been safe at all, like anywhere. The police has been not mapping the campuses anywhere. Like I travel from the buses and there are phone snatching and pickpocketers are regularly. This is very common thing which happens to us in our bus travelers. So like metro as well, there is not a security for the girls and women. There is also. So security concerns are always here. And
so I wanted to ask you guys, we know that young people mostly do not participate that much in the voting process. Their voter turnout is quite low. So I wanted to ask you guys why this is and what can we do to change this?
Yeah, so I think, right, so the voter turnout for the young people is usually low, which is very disappointing because youth is the future, right? So one of the things is that the representation, I would say, whatever the youth will see, the people sitting in the parliament, they see, all the old people sitting on those thrones since decades. And I think politics is, a very not so cool thing. We should not discuss politics, only, the old people should discuss it because they are kind of dejected. They think that nothing is going to change. They think that the situation will remain same. They can participate in the debating competitions or moot courts. They will talk about politics over there, but not on the ground. Because politics has somehow become a bad word. And that is because of the prevalent politics which we see, which is majorly the hate politics. We see, people are divided on the basis of religion and caste. And then students see, oh, this is not something I want to get involved in, so let's stay out of it. So I think one of the things that can be changed is that if you include more youth into the politics, if you give more seats to the youth to contest elections, then they will bring a different atmosphere, they will bring a different mindset into the politics. We see in the Delhi University Students' Union election, this time the voter turnout was very low, the lowest since years, which was very disappointing because ultimately we are the ones facing the brunt. So if we won't come out, then nothing will change. So I think the whole way of campaigning has to be changed. We have to focus on the issue-centric politics rather than the hate-filled politics or the caste-based politics, religion politics and communal politics basically.
Do you also have an opinion on this?
Yeah. So the reason that I want to say about the voter turnout, being coming from a community of persons with disabilities, if I talk about. So the reason, if we see the campuses and the places are not accessible and inclusive for people with disabilities, and similar is the situation of the polling booths, and maximum of the polling booths within Delhi itself are not accessible. So that is one of the most maximum reason what we see, that the people with disabilities or youth with disabilities are not coming out of their homes and coming out for voting. And that's the most problematic issue, which I had also seen in my research, which I have done on the similar topic, the challenges and barriers faced by people with disabilities in the electoral process despite the technological advancements. So what we see, that the transportation facilities, whether they are the facilities at the polling stations or the polling booths, are not accessible. So that gives a demotivation to the youth with disabilities to come out and do the voting for whether it's the BJP or Aam Aadmi Party or it's the Congress. So it's overall the same. And therefore, on the other hand, if we see, there is no representation of people with disabilities either in the legislature, in the state legislature or the parliament. So that is also one of the important aspects that the political party needs to look at, that the people with disabilities also needs to have equal representation in the legislatures. That's all.
So my name is Abhishek, and you asked about why the youth is not turning up in the politics, and the voting turnout has been low. So I would like to say that the students and youth, they think about being politics, engage in political situation in our country and discuss about this is a wrong thing. It has become a word that many students I have faced in my students, like my friends as well. They don't want to engage with these things, and they say that this is not a right thing to discuss. I mean, they are in a wrong way, and they should discuss about this politics, because see, in Delhi University, if the marginalized people comes to this place, this education place has to be for all of the people. So it has been decisive for politics play a big role in playing this thing.
If I have to sum up what you guys are saying, is because politics is seen as being dirty, that's why youth do not participate so much in it, right? So we need to change the perception.
Right, and also the representation needs to be there. If they see that there are students like us coming to the forefront and they're talking about our issues, paper leaks are happening every day. But that is not an issue in the elections. They don't talk about paper leaks, but that is the biggest issue which the youth is facing. We're preparing for exams. We give the exams. NEET happened, and the NET exam happened. Students gave NET exam, and then they're realizing, oh, the exam has been, we are conducting it again. But nobody is talking about it. So if youth will come up, they will raise those issues. So that is the thing.
Like political leaders as well, they don't go to the youths and say about the constitutional values. What about the constitutional values? I found only one leader who's go, and only in Congress obviously, and other as well leaders, they don't go to the youths and say about constitutional values. In fact, they talk about religious things and diverse the situation in country and polarize them. So that's the reason why students don't engage in politics.
So after talking to students, I think the best line that I found was, one of them said that these are not freebies, but these are some basic rights that we deserve actually. And these students are not up for any of the freebie culture that they're getting into, and they demand more than that, in fact. So they're more into transportation, they're more into safety, security and all of these issues. So they are not getting into this culture at all.
And they also say that because politics is viewed really badly amongst young people, they don't actually come out and vote. Many don't.
Right.
So they say that they need a change in perception about politics, and also they need to see more representation of youth in parliament. So they'll be inspired to vote.
Absolutely. So with this, we wrap up our this edition from the Shop Hour series. Thank you so much for watching, and keep following us for more updates. Thank you so much.
Thank you.